or let me know if you can here, I guess that would be better. So what we're going to be talking about today is the Integration Manager, and we're going to just have a brief conversation about Integration Manager concepts so that we're kind of all on the same page when we're talking. I want to make sure that you understand the terminology. And then we're just going to go through creating an integration from Excel into a journal entry and in the general ledger. And as we go through that process, I'm going to be giving you some tips on what those tips are. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about, as I said, is concepts. In Integration Manager, you have to have a source file or a source system for your integration. And so that might be Excel would be an example of a source. So I just dialed back into the number. Can everyone hear me? Kirk, maybe if you can let me know if you can hear me now. Well, I'm going to keep going, and it says I'm connected, so I'm going to keep going here, and I'll go back to my agenda again. We're just going to start with some concepts on Integration Manager so that everyone understands what we're talking about, and then we're actually going to go through the different steps for creating an integration, and we're going to use the general ledger journal entry as our example, integrating it from Excel. So from the concepts, talking about concepts, we have to have a source, and our source might be Excel, it might change and be on the line. So I'm going to change that because I'm in the lines now. So I'm picking my account. So let's do that. And then here, and yes, I did that on purpose. So for those of you who are saying you didn't pick account, I picked them out on purpose because I want it to fail. I want it to show you what happens when it fails. So this is a nice one. This is a great tip here. So there's a debit amount and a credit amount. And if you look at your journal entry, you've got debit and credit. But my source had a positive and a negative. So what I can do is I can say use the source positive. So if the number is positive, it goes in as a debit. So I'm going to pick my amount. And then the same holds true for the credit. So use the negative source field. So in my source document, I had both positive and negative numbers. I'm telling the Integration Manager that when it's a positive number, put it in the debit column. When it's a negative number, put it in the credit column. Okay, so hopefully everybody's tracking with me now. I'm going to go ahead and save my integration. we're done. And I'm going to run it. And I know for a fact that I'm going to get one error here. So we can see we don't have account number. I have to have the account number defined here. Must provide source field value for use source field rule in account number. So let's pick our account. And there we go. So that should take care of it. Look at our options. So we're good. So let's save this. And I'm actually going to close out of it. Let's run it from here. So let's run our integration. Here's an error that I left that transaction entry window open on purpose. You must close all windows in order to run an integration. So make sure that if you have any GP windows open, that you close them prior to running your integration. You will get an error. So we're going to run our integration here. See if it runs successfully. It did. Now, if there are any issues with the integration, if you know, there a missing account or a missing, I don't know, an invalid account, that's actually a good one, it would show up in this log. And you can view the log, and it will tell you, for this record, this account doesn't exist. And so you can fix it and redo the integration. So that's really important, is to make sure that you view your log. Integrations that integrate with warnings, sometimes you don't get the details. So, you know, it'll fail. The line will fail. You'll just have the header. And so you need to review that and make sure. Failed integrations just, you know, it just won't go because there's a problem with it. So let's go back to GP and open our journal entries and find our integration manager. Look. There it is. Debits equal credits. All of the accounts are valid. It's all good. So hopefully, oh, actually, there's a couple more things that I want to point out. A couple more just kind of general tips that I want to share with you. The first one is that you're able to export your integrations, and you can also create groups. So you can import and export integrations, and you can create groups of integrations. So if you have a scenario where you're bringing in sales transactions and you've got new customers that you need to integrate, and then once those new customers have been integrated, you want to integrate your sales transactions, you could actually create those two integrations, so two separate integrations, and then run them as a group. And so that's helpful as well. So hopefully I've helped you understand a little bit more about Integration Manager and how it works, and given you some tips so that you can go back and sit down at your desk now and create a journal entry integration from Excel. If you have any questions on anything that you've seen today, please contact your consultant or your account manager. They will be happy to help you. And I just want to do one more thing here with my deck. I want to point out the upcoming webinars that we have. On 4/19, we have a CRM webinar. In May, we're doing Management Reporter. And then in July, we'll be talking about audit and security tools. And the information in the registration can be found in the events section on our Socius1.com website. And then also other events that are happening. Convergence is this week in Houston, or this coming week in Houston, Texas. As well, Aspire West will be held in San Francisco on 4/24. Contact your account manager if you have any questions on that, or go to our website again in the event section and register. So with that, thanks everyone for joining today, and I look forward to seeing you all again for the CRM webinar in April. Bye-bye.